So do you have a way of managing what your bills are coming in, when they're due, and how do you track it? And are you aware of how much you owe every month? Hi, I'm Renette Legace. I'm here today to talk to you about cash flow management and how it can hurt your business if it's not done right, or how it can actually help your business and build your business if you're using the right techniques. Today I want to focus on one specific tip in particular. As a bookkeeper, it's crucial that I'm always tracking when payments are due. So I know that each month we need like $5,000 to pay this bill, this bill, this bill by this date. And maybe the next month I need $15,000 on this date and this much on this date. This is really crucial for you as a business owner to be able to plan, whether it's about making sure you have enough money set aside so you can buy those supplies or equipment or maybe stock for the seasonal items that are coming up. And you need a chunk of money, a big chunk of money coming down. What do you have set aside for that? Do you have a plan to make sure you do not spend more than what you have available? What is your way of tracking this? A lot of people say, well, it's in my head. I know on the 10th I got insurances. I got this and this and that. But then they realize, oh, that $5,000 check went through. Dang, I didn't expect it to go through so early. Now what am I going to do? Holy smokes. That happens all the time. So what are you using to track this? Now, there's lots of different ways other than having a regular bookkeeper working with you, that perhaps you're busy enough that you have someone tracking all the bills that are coming in every day and all the expenses going out and all, just tracking all the income and expenses all the time. That's awesome. That person can be a huge benefit to you because you can go up to them and say, okay, how much do we owe right now? And how much do we have available for cash? And what's due right away? Hopefully they'll be able to give you the answer right away. That's my job as a bookkeeper. But a lot of small businesses, let's face it, you're kind of doing it yourself. You run it all and then you give it to your bookkeeper in a shoebox at the end of the year. That is probably 8 times out of 10 for a small business. That's how they do it. And so they're managing their own bills, income, expenses, and that's a lot. The reason you are making money in your business is because you are good at a specific skill. You are selling yourself that skill or that product based on your knowledge. You are not an expert in bookkeeping. Maybe you're not, or maybe you are. Maybe you don't have a lot of skill with money management. Maybe you don't worry about that. You always had your spouse take care of that. Happens all the time, and that's normal. It's a lot for a small business owner to have to be responsible for. They are kind of like, they have to be good at everything. The advertising, the bookkeeping, the banking, this credit card tracking, the receipts. Oh my God, there's so much to it. Plus all the specific skills they need for their business, whether it's upgrading, getting more education. You as a business owner, you make your money at what you're good at. That is how and why you are going to be successful. However, if you fall down and miss certain things on the back end, it can really hurt your business and or take the business right out. I don't want to see that happen. So one little tip that I can give you that might be helpful is perhaps we could set you up where you have a calendar. On the 15th, the payroll remittances must be paid. If not, if you pay late or remit late, the fines are getting really steep. They are really putting the screws to business owners and making sure that they pay those bills on time. So on your calendar, this is about the average that I spend every month on payroll remittance. Payroll remittance is your income tax, your CPP, EI that you withhold from people's checks, plus the employer portion that you have to have set aside. That needs to be paid by a certain time every month. For some businesses, it's twice a month, depending how big of a business you are. You have to make sure that money's there on that date, or or just pay early if you have the money to do that. But you need to make sure the money's there to do that. Maybe you have car insurance, truck insurance. Write down the counter when all these amounts are due. Now, the smartest, best advice I can give is if you can have money set aside for a month and a half in advance, or at least a month in advance, at the very least, a month in advance of the next month for all those payments. So that way, if you do get a little stuck, you have a little leeway. But be careful with that, because quite often that leeway goes really quick and they're just living from week to week in their account and making sure, oh my God, my credit cards are due now. And this is when this is due. And this is what has to come out now. And so let's say a post-dated check was sent and it's due on the 20th. Be very aware of what you have coming in every month, what time of the month, so you can plan. Now, that sounds like almost like a budget. A lot of people think of budgets as, oh my God, I have to save. Budgets really is a plan of how and when to spend money. That's what a budget is. It's budgeting is making sure you have money at certain points in time to pay your bills, like your mortgages, your rents, your equipment lease loans. That's what a budget really is. So what is your budget? What do you need every month to pay those basic bills each and every month? Your insurances, your payroll remittances, maybe your GST. What is it that you have to pay every month and when? Do you have a weekly total of what you have to have in that account to pay the basics? How many of you actually added that up and figured out, okay, I need to make sure I need $2,000 in the month every week available, because all these things are coming out at certain times. So every week I have to have this amount in there and this amount and make sure I have all that there. This will help you plan. It's a plan to spend. It's a plan to know when you have money set aside to buy a piece of equipment. Make your plan. Be aware of what you have coming out of your account every month. Know what is that amount that you need in that account every month for those basic bills. If you can answer that question, you got a handle on this. If you can't, you really need to go back and look at all those expenses and bills that are coming out of your account. And let's see if you can come up with a plan that you need to have in your account at all times. If you have a bookkeeper that can kind of look through things, put all that information, even if they only do it once a year, they can probably give you a really good idea. Look, you're spending $8,000 a month. You need to make sure that's in there every month. And if you're spending more money that's outside of those planned events, you need to make sure there's more money. So set up a calendar. Look at your calendar. Look at all those due dates. Find out what's going on in your account and make sure those deadlines are met. If they're not being met, you're behind the snowball again. You're stuck in a rotating thing that just grows and it'll get worse and worse. Don't get stuck behind that snowball. You know, when things going downhill, it goes downhill fast and it takes everything along with it. Don't get sucked in. Let's make your business successful. Again, if you like what you hear or you have any comments or questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. And at the end of this month's series, I will be sending out a tips and tricks cash flow management plan for everyone to use. So if you have any ideas or things that you want to share, please do.